Hi, I'm Jack Arnicke, and welcome to Capital Region Real Estate Today. As we approach the end of 2016, thought it might be time to have another talk about real estate with Realtor Anthony Gucciardo. Anthony, it's great to see you again.
Great to see you again.
Most of 2016 is now in our rearview mirror.
It is.
How's the year going for you?
Things went pretty well. We're up about 30% in business. We will close approximately $100 million in sales, which is almost $30 million more than we did the previous year. Interest rates remain low. Sales have been very good. A lot of sellers have sold their homes in the summer. Some still remain on the market, but it seems like it's going to be another record year.
That's good. And 2017, how's that look? I know forecasting can be difficult, but how's that look?
It can be difficult. Every year it gets better and better. So if I could sustain $100 million a year in sales, I would be very happy. I have approximately 23 agents working in the firm now. As I said, we did have another record year, but I project in the capital region it will remain stable.
Okay. There seems to be an influx of people because you're doing well. I guess the market is doing well. The economy is in an attractive mode for real estate. A lot of people getting into the real estate business. Why is it important to hire a true professional?
Well, you know, the last 10 years, Hollywood has really glamorized the real estate industry. You see the cars, you see the commission checks, you see things on TV that make real estate look like a very sexy and glamorous business, and it's really not. There is so much work and so much effort that goes into these transactions, and there's so many behind-the-scenes situations that you don't see, but not all of these deals go together. And a lot of people in their between the ages of 40 and 60, they either retire or something happens in their current job where they're burnt out, and they see the success that some realtors have and they get into the business. They have flooded the market the past few years, especially that the market has been good. And in my opinion, you know, I can respectfully disagree with my competitors. I think we all have a certain level of respect for each other, but some of the policies and some of the procedures that certain agents follow, I don't agree with. I think that you need to maintain not only a professional image, but you need to have systems in place. And I have a very consistent philosophy in my business. I like to do things a certain way. I treat real estate as a full-time, 7-day-a-week job, and I do the very best job that I can for my clients. A lot of people, they come into this business and they see the freedom that exists, and they put their clients on the back burner, and that is not right. And as a real estate professional for almost 15 years now, I know how much effort goes into these transactions. So it's very important that you don't hire your neighbor or somebody new in the business just because you want to do them a favor, because real estate, usually someone's residential home, is one of their biggest investments. And you should hire a professional who not only has a marketing plan, but a strategy to get your home sold.
Okay. A lot of realtors are taking overpriced listings, costing their clients thousands of dollars. Any stories you can share from this year about that?
Well, we've talked in the past before, especially Niskayuna. Niskayuna is one of my favorite areas. The tax base is rather high in Niskayuna. If you're spending $12,000 a year in taxes and you take 3 years to sell your home because you were misled about the market value of your property, in 3 years you would have paid $36,000 in taxes. You don't get that money back. People don't always look at the big picture. I've had people say to me, "Oh, I got $5,000 more than you told me I could get." My response to them is, it took you 8 months to sell your house, and your taxes are $1,000 a month. You didn't make anything extra. You lost, in fact. Some people don't look at the big picture, and you need to look at the big financial picture of what are your carrying costs, what are your monthly expenses, what is your insurance, and you need to add that up. You need to forecast out almost a year, because it could take, I mean, houses do sell in a week, 2 weeks, a month. Some do take a long time, and you need to look at the big picture of how long it'll take and know when to cut your losses.
Okay. You have been a top agent in this area and have continued to grow your business for over a decade in an industry that's, quite frankly, cutthroat. What's your advice to sellers interviewing a number of realtors?
Well, I've said before, I think if you interview at least 2 or 3 agents, you're going to get a feel for the market. You want to interview top producers too. If you see someone sign repeatedly in the community, chances are that person knows what they're doing and they're out there. What I would say is that it is very cutthroat. If any agent starts bad-mouthing another agent, you should not hire that person. We all have to adhere to a strict code of ethics in the real estate community, and that includes not bad-mouthing other real estate professionals. I have differences with a lot of agents. I do things differently, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to go into an appointment and tell somebody what I personally think about that agent, regardless of what they may do or how they may operate their business. But it's important that you check testimonials. It's important that you read reviews. And it's important that you get a reference from somebody you trust so that you know the person you're hiring is a true professional.
There was an article in the Times-Union recently that 30% of your clients have previously been listed with another realtor before they approach you. Tell me what happens when you get a listing after it's been listed with someone else, and what do you do differently to make it happen?
A lot of sellers will hire a friend, will hire a neighbor, and unfortunately what happens is they get 3 weeks, 4 weeks into the process and my phone starts to ring because they're either watching this show or they're not getting the results that they had hoped for. So a lot of my business is based on previous agents not being able to fulfill their responsibility of selling the home for the consumer. I don't come on the show and say I sell every property. Unfortunately, I don't sell every single home. I believe I can, but a lot of times I'm not able to get the sellers a certain price that they need. That price may be unrealistic to the market, but not unrealistic to the seller. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's very hard to explain that. You know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't always make them drink. And that's what I like to say, because some people, you can sell their house quickly, but they want $40,000 more than any other house is sold for in the neighborhood, and that's not practical. And you really can't say, well, he couldn't sell my house. I could sell your house, but I couldn't get you an unrealistic price and then force the appraiser to over-appraise it. So there's a lot of factors that go in, but a lot of sellers do reach out to me who have other realtors. They're not receiving the feedback they want. The agent's not communicating with them. I basically come in and usually take over the transaction after they get a release from that agent, adjust the price accordingly, and get the home sold.
Explain how that release would work. Usually it's a 6-month or a 1-year contract with a realtor.
Yes. Yep. The seller would have to talk to the agent or the agent's broker about getting what's known as an unconditional release or an unconditional withdrawal. Mm-hmm. They basically say that they're unhappy with the way things have gone and they'd like to be released from the contract. I like to work with people who want to work with me. So when somebody calls me, and it doesn't happen often, but sometimes there's a personality clash, you usually want to part ways amicably. You know, there's other factors in the real estate industry that agents can't control. We talked about professionalism earlier. Right. My biggest complaint from my sellers are that other agents don't show up to appointments, don't turn off lights, or don't provide feedback. And as a real estate professional, I can do the very best job I can, but I can't control my competitors, or I can't control how they operate their business. So that's one thing I always tell consumers.
What advice can you give to sellers and buyers to make sure that all parties really have a positive experience?
Well, I think having an open level of open form of communication is very important. And I think from the beginning, you should understand that, you know, when we're out showing a house at 7:30 at night because a buyer works from 9 to 5, we're leaving our family. And try and find an agent that you're going to work with, you know, and commit to and remain loyal to. I don't mind taking people out at night. I don't mind working weekends. But there has to be more of a loyalty within the industry. I see that a lot of people will call me up and say, well, you know, I've looked at a house with this realtor and I've looked at 3 more, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. If you don't feel it, that's fine. You have that right. But if you're just a little impatient because you can't look at it immediately, that's not really nice to do to the other agent. I mean, you want to work with somebody that you trust, and you know you're both going to support each other in the transaction.
Okay. What's the most difficult situation for a realtor to be in, and what do you find the most stressful?
The most stressful transaction for me is when I list a property and there are multiple offers, because this is what happens. You have multiple buyers who want the property. You have multiple agents fighting for their clients to get the house. Mm-hmm. You have buyers who are essentially emotional because they want this house. And then you have a seller who wants top dollar, but at the same time might want to keep the house on the market a little longer to see how much they can get, which upsets the other parties waiting. So I always tell someone, you treat people as you would like to be treated. I've had people cancel contracts over $500 to go with a higher offer for $500. And I've had people receive offers for $3,000 more, but say to me, I made a deal with these people, I'm going to honor my word. I do what's best for my client, and I do what my client tells me. I advise them of the situation and the scenario, but the most difficult transactions for me are multiple offer situations.
Is there anything you do for buyers or sellers that's rare and not done by others?
Well, we have, like I said, the Realty Sold Guarantee program where we're buying properties that may be sold quickly or maybe not so quickly. I also in a situation where there's a contingency offer. In other words, I have a house that's under contract, it's due to close, but say there's like a 2 or 3 week delay. I have fronted sellers some money in the past so that they can buy their new contingency. Doesn't happen a lot, but it is something that I do.
And could you please explain that generous plan you have for sellers who are buying with you?
Yes, that's part of that plan, is where if you're buying a house and you hired me to sell your house and it's under contract. If we offer like a bridge loan for a period of 30 days. Okay. So if somebody's going to buy a house through us, we would front them the money until their house closes.
If you were going to start in the real estate business right now, day one, but you know what you know, what would you do differently?
What would I do differently? You know, when I started in the business, I was 21 years old. And as a guy at 21, you're still immature. I'm still a little immature now. I'm getting better, but I'm still, you mature as you get older.
Not necessarily, but go ahead.
The one thing I'd probably do differently is there were a lot of agents who frowned upon my success. And they would say things, and I would say things back. And if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't say anything. I would just stay focused, and I would just keep doing what I'm great at. But I do want to thank the community who have stood before me, who've stood by me in supporting me, and have reached out to me via email, text, phone. I sincerely thank you for your support, and I invite you to give me a call or email me at any time. I'd be glad to talk to you directly about selling your home. And again, I thank you, Jack, for hosting the show, and we look forward to a great 2017.
All right, and I thank you for asking me to do it. I always appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that does it for Capital Region Real Estate today. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Anthony Gucciardo. I'm Jack Arnicke, and have yourself a wonderful day.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Today show. I'm Anthony Gucciardo, and today I'd like to share with some of the viewers about what some of my former clients have been saying about the services I've been able to provide. I'm here with Diane Keith today. Diane, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, you are a retired math teacher, correct?
That's correct.
And you lived in Latham for how many years?
38 years I owned that house.
Okay. And you knew me when I was a rambunctious child?
Absolutely, I did. I knew you for a very long time.
So let me ask you, when it came time to sell your home, you reached out to me. How was the level of communication?
Very, very good. You're extremely responsive to every need. When I called and decided, and it was a quick decision that I was going to list, you came immediately. You had all of the insight in order for me to decide where I needed to change things or what we were going to do. And you were very responsive. Every time I needed an answer, you texted back or you called back immediately.
Thank you. And let me ask you, a lot of people in the community think that real estate agents can be pushy. Did I ever push you or pressure you into a decision?
Absolutely not. You showed me, you gave me options. I told you I wasn't interested, you backed right off. If I told you I was interested, you took me to those open houses or showings, and we scheduled them. No, absolutely no pushing whatsoever.
We had a little bit of a unique situation. Your house, you basically owned your house free and clear like many people, and you wanted to sell to buy, which we did. When we listed your home, how quick did it sell?
Under 2 weeks.
Under 2 weeks.
Under 2 weeks, yes. I think it was actually 8 days.
8 days. And were you happy with the coordination between selling your house and buying your new house that you downsized
I was. I really was. And if there had been a problem, you had given me the option of possibly borrowing the money from you in order to make that that this transition quicker.
So, just so the viewers know, my agency was going to front you the down payment for your new house so that we didn't keep the buyers or the sellers of your new house waiting.
That's correct.
And that was offered to you. And
Yes,
we
it
didn't
was.
need to do it, but it was offered to you.
It was,
Great.
definitely.
Okay.
Yep.
What would you say to somebody who's thinking of possibly selling their home? What would you say about the experience you have with it?
I had a great experience. You were, like as I said, responsive. You had all the insight. You sent me websites. You sent me 2 locations. You brought me 2 locations. And I think I had a very good experience.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Diane. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, and congratulations on your new home.
Thank you. I'm very happy.
Great.
Hi, my name's Diane Keith, and I've been very, very happy with Anthony. He was so responsive for me. He found me the absolute perfect house in a perfect location, and he couldn't have been more cooperative. He offered me many, many names of people who could do jobs that I needed done, movers, electricians, a lot of different things. And I'm a retired math teacher. I lived in my home for 38 years, but it was getting to the point where it was too big for me. And Anthony found me just the absolute perfect ranch to move into. And Anthony sold my home in 8 days. It was great. I know my neighbors also knew Anthony growing up, and my neighbors were unhappy to see me go that quickly, but 8 days was an amazing turnaround.
Hi, I'm Anthony Gucciardo, and welcome back to the Gucciardo Real Estate Group Today Show. I'm here with Ryan Caponera, who is a new owner at the Loudon House. The Loudon House is a beautiful condo project in Loudonville. We have 19 condos remaining that will be for lease or for sale or lease with option. Ryan, let me ask you, you're a local businessman in the capital region. What made you choose the Loudon House as your primary residence?
Well, I chose the Loudon House for a few reasons. Number one, I was in the market for a condo. I really like the idea of a condo because of the maintenance-free living. The second reason was because of the location. We're located right in the center of Loudonville, which really is centrally located in the Capital District. It allows me to be very close to my office, very close to appointments, very close to the courts down in Albany and also in Saratoga County. The third reason was because when I stepped into the Loudon House for the first time, I found that the finishes were incredible, and I found as though that the finishes set the Loudon House above and beyond any other properties that I had visited in the Capital District.
And let me ask you, what do you like best about living at the Loudon House?
I like the location because most of what I do, first of all, my office is about 2 miles from the Loudon House. Most of my appointments, most of my court appearances are all very close to the Loudon House. Like I said, it's centrally located. I like the idea that when I'm on the run for business in different parts of New York State, being an attorney in the Capital District, I find that it's nice to know that your property is being maintained even though you might not be there. So the idea that you can come home from work and let's say it's a long day, and you get home, if you own a single family home, and you say, oh, I completely forgot, I had to cut the lawn. And now you have to come home after working a long day and you have to cut the lawn and you have to trim the hedges and this kind of thing. And the idea that you can avoid that and the property can be maintained to a very high level without you being there is very attractive for me.
And what is the demographic of the Loudon House? You know, this project started out as they were trying to focus on getting people probably between the age of 55 and 75 who are downsizing. You're a young business professional, you're an attorney. Tell the viewers who are watching, what is the demographic here?
I find that the demographic is largely varied. You have someone like myself who's in their early 30s, attorney, business professional in the area. We also have people in here that are retirees. So it's pretty much goes right across the gambit. We have doctors who work at Albany Medical Center. One guy lives across the hall from me. He's a medical doctor. There's another couple that lives in the front of the building. They're in their 40s. Pretty much anywhere between 30 all the way up to retarees in their 60s and 70s.
Okay, and the community here is gated, and you also have underground parking as well as a fitness center. Those amenities, obviously there's someone managing them. How has the management team, the association, been to deal with?
The management is incredible, I have to tell you. Anytime there's ever been a minor issue, it's corrected and addressed immediately. I can't say enough about the management so far. It's been incredible. The property looks just as good today as the day I moved in. They maintained the carpeting are always being vacuumed. There's never anything out of place, basically. They maintain it to a very high standard.
What would you say to a young business professional like yourself who may be thinking about a single family and is considering the Loudon House but has some reservations, primarily due to maybe the pricing or things they've heard? What would you say to encourage them to come over here?
What I would say is that, first of all, the condo lifestyle is something that's very attractive. The ability to come and go, have your property maintained while you're not here, maintenance-free living is a very attractive lifestyle. Number two, I would say that in order to move into a single-family home that is of the build quality of the Loudon House, it most likely would be cost prohibitive for most people. And I feel as though if you move into the Loudon House, you have an ability to live a very, very high-end lifestyle, also maintenance-free, while being centrally located in the heart of Loudonville.
Okay, thank you very much, Ryan. Now, let me ask you, before you moved to the Loudon House, you were living in a condo in Cohoes that you put on the market yourself and with other brokers who were unable to sell it. Can you share with the viewers watching who was able to sell your condo and about the customer service provided?
Absolutely. When I was looking to sell my condo in Cohoes, I ended up reaching out to you directly. And I believe you met me at the property. We walked through the property and discussed some options that we had. And you gave me your opinion. And what I found was that in talking with you, I saw a connection between the way I do business and the way you do business. And by that I mean, I'm someone who believes in the personal touch with my clients. I'm someone who believes in going the extra mile for my clients. And I got that impression from you right from the start. And as a result, I got a very good feeling that you were the guy for the job. You got the listing immediately and were able to sell the property when no one else could. And I really can't say enough about you and your team.
Thank you very much. Tell the viewers watching, what type of attorney are you? What do you do? How can you help consumers who are maybe watching the show and need an attorney?
Absolutely. Well, our firm has a bunch of different areas of law that we cover. We do personal injury law. We also represent people. We do criminal defense law, but we do a large volume of real estate transactions, residential and commercial real estate transactions. But we like to pride ourselves on the idea that our firm is almost a one-stop shop. Someone may come to us with something as silly as a traffic ticket, but they don't leave us. We're basically their attorneys for lives. They're clients for our entire, for their entire lives. And we find as though we make that connection on one level in one area of law, and no matter what they come across for the rest of their lives, we're able to help them out no matter what legal issue they may have.
And it's not just real estate you do. I mean, you do real estate transactions, but if someone needs a variance or someone wants to try and get zoning changed, or somebody like myself who wants to build apartments or something, you cover all aspects of real estate. And it's a family business, correct?
That's exactly right. My uncle and my father started the firm about 50 years ago, and I'm partners with my father at this time. It is a family business. Like I said, we believe in the personal touch. When you come to our firm, we pride ourselves in the fact that you meet with us. So it's the Caponera Law Firm. You meet with a Caponera when you come to our office. You don't meet with an associate. You don't meet with someone in a satellite office. It's that personal approach and a touch that we feel as though really sets us apart. When it comes to the land use and zoning, that is something that we feel as though we're one of the premier firms in the area when it comes to land use and zoning and planning. We've represented anyone from someone with a home that wants to do a small addition, or a business person who wants to add some square footage onto their business, to Fortune 500 companies who come into the area. The Colony Center renovation, when they did the entire rehab of the whole facade of the Colony Center, that was a project that we handled as well. So we handle pretty much any job when it comes to land use, whether it's small or large, we can accommodate it.
Somebody wants to reach you, Ryan, to retain your services.
Absolutely.
Can you tell the viewers where they can reach you?
Absolutely. We're located at 3 Atrium Drive, which is off of Everett Road. Our phone number is 518-453-8381. You can also reach us on our website, which is www.caponeralaw.com.
Thank you very much for joining us
Thank
today,
you.
Ryan. And thank you for watching, and we invite you to check out the Loudon House 7 days a week. Either give myself a call at 331-3785, and we will show you these gorgeous condos that are for lease or for sale. I'll next be sitting down with Taylor Barvotes, who is the site coordinator for the Loudon House. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back to the Real Estate Today Show. I'm Anthony Gucciardo, and we're going to be continuing our conversation about the exclusive Loudon House condominium project here in Loudonville. I'm going to be sitting down now with Taylor Barvotes, who is going to be sharing with some of the viewers the amenities and services offered when you buy or lease at the Loudon House. Taylor, tell us, how are things going at the Loudon House so far?
Things are going excellent. Actually, now we are leasing the units. So there's lease to own, and purchase. The feedback has been tremendous. It's been awesome. Everybody loves the idea that now these units are available to lease. So we currently have 19 units left available.
Let me ask you, this is a project like no other in the community. It's more of something you'd see like in New York City. Tell some of the viewers watching who may be thinking of leasing or buying, what could they get with the Loudon House that they wouldn't get with any other project in the capital region?
The Loudon House project, the condominiums are a very unique product here in this area. Completely maintenance free. So for working professionals, empty nesters, anybody who really doesn't want to deal with the maintenance of a single family home, this is perfect. And you cannot beat the location. Everybody loves the Loudonville location. It's in the heart of Loudonville. Totally convenient for I-90, 87, anywhere you need to go.
Underground parking,
Underground
right?
parking.
It's heated?
Yep, heated parking garage.
Okay.
Now, a fitness center, a 24-hour fitness center with flat screen televisions. Very nice.
And it's gated, right?
It's gated, yep, secure access.
Now, say somebody just wants to come and look at the project, but no one's here. Are they able to come in and wander around the building, or is it secure?
No, there's nobody allowed to wander around the building. You'd call me directly, and I would be happy to give a private showing.
And how long do the lease terms run? If somebody wants to lease for 6 months or 6 years, what is there flexibility?
Minimum of a 1-year lease, and anywhere beyond that.
Taylor, if somebody has a small pet or a dog, are dogs welcome here?
Small pets are considered.
Small pets are considered, okay. And in terms of the management team, how have you found the management team to deal with? Because a lot of people move into apartments or condos and they complain about, oh, it's too strict, so tell the viewers watching what they can expect.
The management team is absolutely on point. This place is pristine. It's clean, it's flawless, everything is well maintained. You'll be taken care of here tremendously.
Okay. Thank you for joining us today, Taylor. And where can people reach you if they want to lease or buy one of the beautiful luxury condominiums here at the Loudon House?
They can call me directly. My cell phone is 518-928-7330, and I would gladly give them more information or give them a private tour of the building.
Thank you for watching the Real Estate Today Show. For more information about the luxury condominium project at the Loudon House, visit anthonygucciardo.com today or call me on my cell phone at 331-3785. Thank you for watching Capital Region, and have an excellent day.